Hey everyone, so let's talk about something that might sound a little bit crazy at first. For Korean speakers, learning Japanese kanji can actually be, well, kind of easy. Let's dive into why that is. Does this look familiar? You start learning Japanese, you're cruising through hiragana, you've got katakana down, and then, boom, you hit this giant wall called kanji. It can feel totally overwhelming, right? But what if I told you there's a secret advantage that you probably aren't even using yet? For most people learning the language, kanji really does feel like this massive, impossible challenge. It's often the single biggest thing that stands in the way of getting fluent. And it's true. I mean, with thousands of characters and each one has multiple ways to be read, it can feel like you're just trying to stuff endless information into your brain with no real rhyme or reason. It's a super frustrating place to be, but trust me, stick with me here. Okay, but this is where it all gets really interesting, because as a Korean speaker, you have access to a kind of secret passage, a shortcut through that wall that most other learners just don't have. So the whole idea, which is laid out perfectly in our source material here, is that Korea, China, and Japan all share this long history of using Chinese characters. And because of that, there's a huge overlap in how words are pronounced. This isn't just some lucky coincidence, it's a linguistic key waiting to be used. That shared history, all that hanja you're already familiar with, that's your superpower. It's the foundation for a much, much faster and more intuitive way of learning Japanese vocabulary. Now, to unlock this superpower, we need to get our heads around one really crucial concept: the fact that there are two totally different ways to read almost any kanji character. All right, this slide breaks it down perfectly because this is so important. On the left, we've got Onyomi, the sound reading. This is the one that came from the original Chinese pronunciation. It follows rules, and here's the most important part. It's directly linked to the Korean sound of the hanja. Then on the right, you've got Kunyomi, the meaning reading. This is the native Japanese word for that character's meaning. It's irregular, kind of all over the place, and it doesn't follow the pattern we're looking for. For any beginner, getting this difference is everything. So here's the point. We are going to focus completely on Onyomi. This is where the magic happens for Korean speakers. Forget trying to memorize everything all at once. We're going to use a system. Okay, let's make this real. We're going to take one super simple, everyday character and use it to decode this entire system. Let's look at the character for the number 4. Seriously, everything we've just been talking about can be shown right here in this one little symbol. You ready for this? In Korean, as you know, the sound for this hanja is sa. Easy enough. You've got that one down already. Now, in Japanese, the onyomi, that sound-based reading we were talking about, is shi. Can you hear the similarity? Sa, shi. And that right there perfectly shows the pattern. The Korean sound sa almost always corresponds to the Japanese onyomi shi. This isn't a one-time thing. It's a predictable rule you can use again and again. And just to make it crystal clear, the reason this works is that onyomi is the Japanese attempt at saying the original Chinese sound from centuries ago. And since Korean hanja readings also come from that exact same source, of course they're going to sound similar. They're like linguistic cousins. So you're probably asking, what about all those other readings? For this same character, you'll see things like yol or yon. Now, here is a classic beginner mistake: trying to memorize all of these at once. Don't do it. These are the kunyomi, the native Japanese words for 4, and they have absolutely no sound connection to the Korean sa. This is why we focus on onyomi first, to build that solid foundation. So, what's the big payoff? Well, by learning this one simple rule, you've just unlocked the ability to read a whole bunch of other words. Just look at this table. In Korean, we have sagakyong for a rectangle, sagejal for the 4 seasons, sabang for the 4 directions, and saship for 40. Now look at the Japanese: shigakuke, shikisetsu, shiho, shiju. You see it? That sa sound becomes shi every single time. So now when you want to talk about the 4 seasons in Japan, you know it's going to start with shi. The big takeaway here is that you didn't just learn one character. No, you learned a key that unlocks an entire family of related words. This is how you start to study smart, not just hard. So here is your new game plan. This is a method you can literally start using today. 1. Take any hanja you know. 2. Find its Korean sound. 3. Look for that predictable sound shift in the Japanese onyomi. And 4. Immediately go find some words that use it. A great way to start is to just pick 5 familiar hanja every day and practice this method. Your vocabulary will grow way faster than you ever thought possible. This connection between hanja and kanji, this is your unique powerful advantage. It completely transforms kanji from this scary memorization chore into a logical puzzle that you, my friend, already have the cheat codes for. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Think of a hanja you know right now. Maybe it's the character for one, I, or maybe the character for person, in. What do you think its Japanese onyomi might be? The adventure of decoding Japanese is just getting started.